Hello everyone, welcome to Brain Blitz Audios. Today we'll be adding a very new and exciting addition to our Brain Games segment. And today we'll be talking about an unusual and yet extremely effective mental game. This is a combinatorial puzzle by the name of Sujiko. So in this video, we'll be showing you the method that we use to solve a Sujiko puzzle and tips in order to solve it effectively, and we'll be solving one Sujiko puzzle as an example. So let's begin, right? What is Sujiko? Sujiko is a logic-based combinatorial number placement puzzle which was created by Gomer of Kobayaashi Studios. The puzzle takes place on a 3x3 grid with 4 circled number clues at the center of each quadrant. This indicates the sum of the 4 numbers in that quadrant. For example, 4 plus 1 gives you 5, 5 plus 5 gives you 7, 5 plus 5 gives you 10, and 10 plus 7 gives you 17. And that number 17 is present in this center of the quadrant. And similarly, if you start adding them, then you will notice that it will be equal to the number given in the circle. So in a Sujiko puzzle, the only numbers which you can place are the numbers 1 to 9. These must be placed in the grid in accordance with the circled clues to complete the puzzle. The numbers cannot be repeated, and all the numbers 1 to 9 must be used. So that means you can only fill in 9 numbers, that is 1 to 9, and you have to put it in such a way that all of the combinations would point to the correct number, the correct sum, which is present at the circle. So inside the circle, the sum of the 4 squares are present, and so you have to arrange 9 numbers in such a way that all the 4 circles are justified. So that's the idea behind solving a Sujiko puzzle. How do you solve it? Well, here's our method to solve a Sujiko puzzle. Identify the cells and mark them as A, B, C, etc. Choose the square which has the least number of combinations, preferably ones which are filled. Note down the possible combinations for the selected square. When finding the possible numbers for each square, start with the lowest number added to the highest 2 numbers and then work down. Then pick the second lowest number, add it to the highest 2 numbers, and work down again. In a very quick fashion, you will reach the middle of the available numbers, available combinations, and there is no need to go further, as you will only be repeating yourself with the same numbers reversed. By working logically to a system, though it may be very tedious, all possible permutations will be noted and no permutation will be missed. So this is the effective way in order to solve a Sujiko puzzle. Now, how about some tips in order to make this an easy experience comparatively? So these are our top tips to solve a Sujiko puzzle. The first thing to know is that the sum of all the numbers that you put, which is the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, would always add up to 45 because you can only fill numbers from 1 to 9. So the total of all the 9 cells is 45. And the second thing is that in order to ensure that there is only one solution, every Sujiko puzzle comes with one pre-populated value. If you have newspapers such as the Telegraph, you would be able to know what I'm talking about. Because in a Sujiko puzzle, most of the times, there is at least one solution so that means at least one number will be filled among the 9 boxes. And the sums also will be given. So this is like the extreme level of Sujiko that you have to solve. Number 3, choose one square without any pre-populated value. Then the value shows in the circle will be the total of that 4 cells in the selected square. Write down all the numbers which are not pre-populated. So that means if the number 8 is already present in the Sujiko puzzle, then you have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 outside the puzzle for your future reference. Then choose a square with a pre-populated number and find the difference for the sum shown in the circle and note it down. For example, in the circle, the value is 18 and you have the number 8 present in the box, then you need to find the difference, which is 10, and then work out combinations so that three numbers will give you the value of 10. And then find the combination for that value and note it in all cells of the chosen square. So whatever combinations that you get, all of your combinations, please try to write it inside your Sujiko puzzle. So that will really help when it comes to, working out with your puzzle. So if you want to work out with your puzzle, it pays to write down the possible combinations inside those squares. So now that we've talked about methods and tips to solve a Sujiko puzzle, it's time we put our methods into practice. Here is one Sujiko puzzle. Now over here, the numbers inside the circles are 10, 21, 18, and 20. The numbers which are pre-populated, that means they're already present, are 8 and 7. So let's begin, shall we? Well, the first thing that we need to do is to write down the numbers which are not present inside this puzzle. So in this case, 8 and 7 are already present. So therefore, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9 must be written on the top. The next step here is to find out the differences. So in the bottom left-hand quadrant, which contains 4 squares, which add up to 18, we notice that we already have a value filled, which is 8. So for the other 3 values, the total must be the difference between 18 and 8. So 18 minus 8 gives you 10, and these 3 squares must give you a value of 10. Fair enough. Similarly, on the bottom right-hand quadrant, you find that 7 is already filled, and you need to get the total sum as 20. So therefore, for the other 3 squares, the sum that these 3 squares need to give is 20 minus 7, which is 13. So this is how you progress. Now, notice that one of the circles has the value 10, and this has no pre-populated value, which means that the sum of 4 numbers must give you a value of 10. Now, this actually is very easy because there is only one combination in the entire world which has 4 numbers and gives you a sum of 10. That combination is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10. So this is the only combination present. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the possible combination of 4 numbers, which when added gives you a value of 10. Now let's come back to our quadrant with the sum 18. So we know that these 3 squares, when added, must give you a number 10. So we have to get a number 10 by the sum of 3 squares. So what are the possible combinations that come into your mind? Well, let's start with the number 5. So 5 plus 5 usually gives you 10. So the other 5 can be written as 3 plus 2. So we have 5, 3, 2, and then we have 5, 4, 1 as our answers. Now notice that when we're writing down these combinations for 18, the other 2 numbers must belong to 1, 2, 3, or 4. Otherwise, there is no overlapping because we already know that 1, 2, 3, or 4 has to come here. So those values are the only other values which come. Now, we know that 6 plus 4 gives you 10. So 4 can be written as 3 plus 1. So 6, 3, 1 is also a possible combination. 613 and 631 is essentially the same, so don't bother writing that. 7 is already present. With 8, you can't find a sum which gives you 10. And for lower values, we can't find a sum of 10 without repeating at least one of the given numbers, and we cannot repeat it in a Sujiko puzzle. Each number has its own square. So these are the three possible combinations. Let's write them down. 532, 541, 631, 532, 541, 631, 532, 541, 631. These are the three possible combinations, which when added gives you the number 10, which along with 18 gives you the sum, which along with 8 gives you the sum 18. These are the only three combinations that work. Now, let's look at the combination of three squares, which when added gives you 13. So let's write down. For 13, we usually write it as 7 plus 6. So 7 can be written as 3 plus 4 or 5 plus 2. Now you know that there are other combinations also possible. However, with 7, you can't do it because, 7 is already populated. It's already populated in one of the other squares. So therefore, you can't use 7. And you can only use the numbers which are already present in the given combinations for 18 and for 10. So when we look at those conditions, the only two combinations for 13 are 634 and 652. 634, 652, 634, 652, 634, and 652. Now, the next step that we do is we find out what is the common number which will be filled in the middle block of the Sujiko puzzle. Now, as you can see, we have three types of combinations present. The combination for 10, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. The combination for 18, which is 5, 3, 2, 5, 4, 1, 6, 3, 1. And the combination for 20, which is 6, 3, 4 and 6, 5, 2. So we just need to find out which of these is actually common. Now you might notice that the numbers 2, 3, and 4 are common in all of these. However, there is a catch. We can't use the numbers 3 and 4 in the combination for 20 or 18, simply because they are present only for 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the value 634 is null. The value 541 and 631 are also invalid. So these values are automatically cancelled. The only combinations here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, and 6, 5, 2. And among these, 2 is the only one which actually is common. So the number 2 occupies the middle position in this Sujiko puzzle. So now that we've got 2 filled, we notice that it belongs to the upper right-hand quadrant, which has the sum 21. 21 minus 2 gives you 19. So now we need to find the sum of 19, which contains 3 values. So the sum of 3 squares, which give you 19. Usually we think of 19 as 10 plus 9 or 9 plus 10. So in terms of when we take 9 as one value, since 21 is a very high value, and if you try to put low values in here, it won't add up to 21. So we're experimenting with the highest value, which we can add, which is 9. So when we put 9 as one of these, then we can write 6 plus 4 to get the value of 10. We can't write 5 plus 5 because 1, 5 will be repeated, and 2, 5 is not a part of this. And therefore, with considering the bonding and the other combinations which are already at hand, the only combination which gives you 19 and that has 3 squares will be 964. 964, 964. Okay, now we've got 964. So just to let you know on a side tip, once you've written a value in its correct place, it's better to strike it off from the top so that you don't get confusions in the end. So we have in this square, which is between 10 and 21 and present on the top layer, we have one combination as 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other combination as 9, 6, 4. In this scenario, it's only prudent to notice that the number 4 is the one which is common here. So 4 has to be the value which has to be written down in this cell. And when it comes to this cell, we notice that we have 964 and 652 as the possible permutations and combination here. And we notice that 6 is common. So therefore, the value here is 6. It's prudent enough that now we cut 4 and 6 from the top. And since the combination here is 964, 4 and 6 are already filled. Therefore, the only value left is 9 in order to complete this quadrant to get the sum as 21. Now, let's come back here. We notice that in the quadrant which has the sum 20, we have 3 numbers filled. 7 plus 2 gives you 9. 9 plus 6 gives you 15. So 20 minus 15 is only going to give you 5, which is the remaining number which has to be added here. Notice that if we take these combinations, 652 and 532, 5 is the only one common here as well. So that also can be used as a method to deduce that 5 is the value to be put in this cell. And since 5 comes here, we know that 8 plus 5 gives you 13. 13 plus 2 gives you 15. And so therefore, the only value which can be put in this cell in order to give a sum of 18 is the number 3. So 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 5 is 10, 10 plus 8 is 18. And then the only number which is remaining among our 9 numbers is the number 1. And if you put it there, then 1 plus 4 gives you 5, 3 plus 2 gives you 5, 5 plus 5 gives you 10. So voila, we have solved our Sujiko puzzle. So these are the numbers which have to be put in their correct order in order to get our correct answer. So this is the extreme way in which we use in order to solve a Sujiko puzzle. So I'll just rub everything and then write the final answer down. We have 1, 4, 9, 3, 2, 6, and 5. So this represents the completed Sujiko puzzle. We hope you found this episode on Sujiko interesting. It is a very unique puzzle and it uses the process of addition in order to perplex the human brain. Therefore, it's pretty imperative that one should try and practice it as much as possible. For getting updated on more of brain games, as well as other playlists such as memory hacks, mind maps, neat preparation, etc., don't forget to subscribe to our channel, which is Brain Blitz Audios. You can also hit that notifications button, which is the bell icon, in order to receive the latest updates regarding our educational content. So until the next episode, take care, stay safe, bye-bye for now.